Trump.
Don't swear. Excessive use of profanity is the sign of an underdeveloped
His EPA budget cuts closed my office today.
Fuck Trump!
Yeah, 14 of us were laid off. 14.
I'm sorry.
Job created my ass.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I have no idea. I should have seen this coming, but wow. Ugh.
Don't lie down on the floor like that. It makes you look defeated.
I feel defeated. What have we come to?
I don't know. I don't even know how we got here. I mean, ignorance, misogyny, and I think Russian intervention.
What am I gonna do?
I hear they're looking for wall builders a little south of here.
You suck.
You could join the military. I hear we're starting wars with, like, everyone.
What happened to our country?
I don't know.
No, really.
I don't know. But it's rotten.
Yeah. Do you know what that stupid wall would do to the environment around the Rio Grande?
Yes.
Do you know how devastating it would be for animal migration?
Yes.
And the flooding it would cause could wipe out both human and animal habitats.
Yep.
And cement production is a major cause of greenhouse gas emissions.
I know that. I'm a fucking scientist.
Well, why don't they know that?
I think they own the cement factory, so, you know.
Well, they're all short-sighted, self-serving assholes who are destroying our fucking planet.
Yeah.
God, I'm depressed.
I don't know anyone that isn't depressed, angry, or afraid right now.
Or all three.
Or all three.
You don't mind if I just lie here on your floor for a while, do you?
You should go out with me.
Are you hitting on me again, Ames?
Out tree planting, bozo.
Oh.
Go out tree planting. Or reforesting that ugly clear cut above evergreen.
What for?
So there'll be a forest there again.
No, really. What for? This whole planet's going to hell in a handbasket.
I don't believe in that.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So why bother? Why?
It's what I can do. I'm doing what I can do. Right here, right now. Think globally, act locally.
But I want to act globally. I'm a fucking climate scientist.
Just start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can.
You tried to remind me of what it says on every bumper sticker on your fucking Prius.
They're great bumper stickers. I chose all 17 of them very carefully. Evolution fish has feet.
You're ridiculous.
No, I'm not. Lying on the floor, watching Netflix, and eating cookies isn't going to save the world.
I'm starting to doubt that anything can. I like my job.
I know. You're saving the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to stop just because they lay you off.
No.
No. Resistance is never futile. Resistance is necessary. It's only when they make you think you've lost your power that you lose your power.
Those are more of your bumper stickers, I think.
My bumper stickers rock. Have a cookie.
You did these.
I did.
Thank you.
Have a tree.
Saving the planet, one tree at a time.
I'm a botanist. That's what I do.
You think it's gonna work?
We're gonna make it work.
Okay. Okay.
ozone in the stratosphere, but they sent it up too high, and the balloon burst before they could get any readings. Well, I'll just have to launch another one and do it all again tomorrow. They should use an electrochemical concentration cell. Everyone uses ECC now, much more reliable. And they should send it up to 28K, not 30K. Must be fingies.
Whaties?
Fingies. FNGs. Effing new guys. That's what they're called, their first time wintering over.
How do you know all of this?
Lived outside Scott Station 3 seasons, you'd be surprised at what you'd pick up. Hello! What's this? Never saw anything so funny in my life.
What makes you laugh?
Look at those goggle eyes, like a picture of a goose drawn in the snow with a flip by a fledgling. Oh, what a handsome creature. Look at that crimson plumage. The question is, what is so attractive about these icy lands to humans? Oh, look! There's another one! Oh, like a plucked petrol.
They smell funny. Actually, they stink. Yuck! What have they been eating? They're vocalizing. Is that their morning chorus? What a racket! What are they doing?
Oh my god, it's a mating ritual! I don't believe they're doing a morning courtship ritual right here on the earth!
Don't laugh at
It's
them.
not them I'm laughing at, it's that big one's great bulbous glasses. They're ridiculous. A mating call in fisheye goggles. Choice. And this is humanity's brightest and bestest. Cleverness by its very self. Are they mad? Where do they think they are? Cloud Cuckoo Land?
They've done some things with their cleverness. Some good. We live in a sanctuary now. No slaughter of us for 98 seasons. So now there's 200,000 of us again. Back to what it was before they came.
Do you know what they do when they're on the nest? The males go out to hunt, and the females stay on the nest. Have you ever heard of anything more ridiculous?
Are you serious? The females need to first gestate, then hatch and guard their young. I must admit that is totally bizarre. But the females in the nest, us, hunt, perish the thought.
And you know what else? They don't rotate. All the warm ones stay warm and cozy while they put up big walls to keep the other ones on the outer.
Madness.
They've done some good.
Like what?
Well, there's the Antarctic Treaty. Peace, collaboration, and free exchange of scientific knowledge for 58 seasons. Plus, they've added the environmental protection to it now. 26 seasons of that. And then there's the ozone layer.
Yeah, they stuffed it up.
They've fixed it
Oh,
now.
they
It's
fixed it.
still healing, but they found the damage was from CFCs, so they stopped using them, banned them totally. Now the hole is shrunk by 4 million square kilometers. They think it will close in another 30 seasons or so.
So, nothing to do with us.
Everything to do with us. UV radiation through the hole kills plankton. Krill eat plankton, fish eat krill, we eat fish. You're wondering why it was taking longer and longer for the hunting group to come back with food?
See, I just thought the girls didn't like us much anymore. Always going fishing. But it's the ozone, is it?
You know all this.
Penguins have been on this planet for 60 million seasons. We've learnt a fair bit if you care to listen. Start paying attention when great-grandma goes off on one of her spills. Plus, I lived outside Esperanza Station for 4 seasons. You'd be surprised what you can pick up from the featherless bipeds when you speak Spanish.
Aha! So they're not completely useless, these humans.
They've learned quite a bit of useful things, like solar power. That's really smart of them. They respond well to reward and reinforcement. Quite trainable, I'd say. If they can see the consequences of their actions, and luckily they're seeing it. All over the planet, they're giving up plastics, growing their own food, turning vegan, riding bicycles, and catching buses. They can be quite motivated to change if they can see how the change will affect the good and avoid the bad things in their life. They can learn all kinds of new behaviours if they're trained right, with positive reinforcement.
Oh my god, they're so cute! So pitiable with their bare skin and scrawny fake feather coverings. Don't you just want to pat them?
Yuck, no. They're smelly and sort of dry. Like, where is their They've only been around a fraction as long as we have, a mere 2 million seasons. They're bound to make a few mistakes in the beginning.
I want one! That's the little one! I'm going to name him Pingu, or maybe Benedict, or E-Pops. Pops the booming. So adorable.
Sometimes with such a human brain.
Are they still out there?
Yeah, wouldn't be anywhere else now, would they? Police, National Guards, US Army. We got them all scared, huh?
Are they still shooting the water cannons?
Nah, they stopped 15 minutes ago.
What about the people? They should get inside before they get sick. I'll see if I have some blankets for them. I think Mary Yellow Eagle's son was one of the ones at the front.
Are you taking stuff out for the soldiers too?
They're people, Jessie. They get cold and hungry too.
Even after what they did?
Winking, kicking. We're fighting this for them too. And just because they use violence against us doesn't mean that we use it against them. See? You know.
Do you think they're going to outlast us?
They just might. No jokes. I would kill for a real hit to write about.
No! We're natives. We'll do it like our ancestors did. We got a fire.
Doesn't matter because it's outside, isn't it? And even our ancestors had property, Peace. Where'd you get this thing from? It's so drafty. No joke. I need to have a word with your father when he gets back. He's going to teach you how to build a tent properly.
We started doing such short notice. Me and Dad, we didn't have enough time to get everything we needed for winter. We didn't think we'd be here this long.
Really? Why? Did you think we would have won by now?
Nah, just thought they would have forced us out or arrested us or something.
They tried, didn't they? You know Karen Moshino? No? You know her daughter though? One you used to play with all the time in 4th grade. Well, her mother ended up arrested, got put in one of those dog kennels, you know? They kept her there, lots of people too, trying to shut us up, trying to scare us. They don't know nothing. Think that's going to scare us off our land? Nah, we're as stubborn as all hell.
I don't know. We've got a lot of money in this pipeline, and money's what seems to win history. That's why our people lost.
Who told you our people lost, eh? We didn't lose. If we did, none of us would be here because we'd all be dead. But we are as stubborn as all hell in it. They couldn't kill us off, so they stuck us on reservations and expected us to just die. And when that didn't work, they tried to kill our culture, taking our kids and putting them in those schools. And that didn't work. So now, since they can't take the land by force no more, now they're trying to kill the ground under us. What cock cookie? Don't they know they're only going to kill themselves? Can you eat money? Can you drink oil? Can you breathe those fumes?
No!
No. And when we try and tell them that, when we are just trying to stop them from killing the earth, what do? They attack us with dogs and guns and what's that called?
Pepper spray.
Pepper spray. That's it. They do all of that, and now water cannons in the middle of winter. I mean, what are they thinking? Don't they get it? We are not just fighting this for us, you know.
I know.
And then they do all that. And now, if they get their pipeline in, then the whole thing gets polluted. The whole of Turtle Island. And then what? Who are they going to blame?
Us!
Tiku, are you talking back to your auntie?
It's Han, Archie. I'm sorry.
That's what I thought.
Hey, Grandma. You know about the black snake. Is it true?
That prophecy's been with our people for a long time now. No, I think it's true.
And the black snake, do you think our people can kill it?
You want to know if the prophecy told the outcome. If this pipeline really is the black snake from the prophecy.
It is though, isn't it? Everyone say so.
And everyone is right, huh? What do you think?
I think
I think it's true.
Well, then it's true. Prophecies are like that, you know.
What if we do all of this and they still build it? What is the point to all of this?
It is not pointless, Jessie. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. What we've done here at Standing Rock, what we're going to do, it's connecting hearts. It's giving back the vision to all the people who've lost it. Not just our people, all people. And so what if they build the pipeline? If that happens, we don't give up. When have our people ever given up? And I think that we're living proof that there is always hope. If they build the pipeline, then we find a way to shut it down. And we fight them through whatever illegal system crap they throw our way. And we don't stop fighting until they see the earth for what it really is. A gift. It's not theirs. It's not ours. It belongs to everyone. And everyone has a responsibility for its well-being. And if it is sick, we find a way to cure it. Some people will say that we're liars, that we're heathens, or that we're
Dumb savages?
Doesn't make it true though, innit? Some people just have loud voices, eh? So just because one or two of them are yelling louder than the rest, it doesn't mean they can drown us out. Sometimes a whisper is louder. And don't forget, there was more of us fighting to save our future than there was of them trying to kill it for money. Remember that.
Where are you going?
And take some of this jerky to those soldiers. That one from earlier today.
The one that shoved you.
He was a bit thin. I think some meat will do him good.
He's just gonna throw it back anyway.
Yeah, it's true, he just might. But I'm not scared of that.
What are you scared of?
Of not doing the right thing because I'm scared. Of staying silent when I need to speak. Of being afraid to act in case I might fail. These are the things I'm scared of.
Do you want to know what I'm scared of?
It's good.
Snakes. Black ones.
Me too.
Wait. I'll help you. We'll do this together, okay?
Birth. It is the purest time of freedom. Okay? That is beauty. Our ancients granted it to all living things before us.
Here we go.
Like you, I emerged unassumingly into something preconditioned.
Right.
I didn't know that at birth.
You've told me this a million times. Purity, freedom, beauty, all tainted. I get it.
Do you? About her birth, who our ancients granted life to, our arrival.
Stop regurgitating your uncle's stories.
What about when people first learned to eat? Crawl, sit, stand, walk, talk. Did you hear that one? Now we just talk and talk and talk and talk.
And you're doing?
But I listen. Still learning, teaching, relearning, reteaching. As did our forefathers before us and theirs before them. I have adapted.
We are in the modern age now. You do realise that, eh?
But we have not changed much.
Really?
For some time.
Alright, why?
Since the day we knew about her, our care, our ways, our respect, our knowledge of her diluted, almost lost. But we have adapted nonetheless in this modern age, right?
Wait. What's lost?
You are lost.
I am. Stop talking.
Listen! I see now what Uncle talks about. Her and her children's awakening. The way she squirms, slinks and jolts ever so subtly beneath our feet. Then boom! Shaking us in her wake. Rising and rising and rising as if to return us from where we came. Her children brush swiftly past our mere mortal souls, stealing the dead within us. Thrusting us, our stuff, our things in mid-air like we're leaves off a breadfruit tree, drowning us in their unforgiving cover-coated tears. They torch us with their beams of anguish, engulfing us in our own fears, reminding us of their wrath. before leaving us to our uncertainties. Who am I to ease their pains, or mine, or yours? We are mere mortals.
And you say I'm lost.
In our lifetime, we have been sold his teachings about the new dawn rising we're supposedly meant to prepare for. And where is he now? Tell me that. I once believed he was here before her. But now I don't know anymore. Him, her, purity, freedom, beauty. Everything is tainted. Like Uncle says.
If it matters that much to you and your uncle, is there something we can do together?
He says we have grown in a way where for some of us our desires have differed widely.
What are you talking about? Because clearly it's not an action plan.
Yeah. I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, what if
But he
I
also told me he believed he lived within her freedom once. I don't know what that means. Maybe he lied to me. Now I've just lied to you.
Anyway, what if I told you that I'm already doing something to help her, him, whoever?
What? Like all living things will see the new dawn rising, that kind of something.
Yeah, okay, no. We'll see the new dawn. Tomorrow.
For how long will there be another tomorrow, though? Uncle says the land, as eyes and teeth, knows the truth.
Non-starter. Don't eat the milk
Milk
chocolate.
chocolate, I know. I saw them all die in the post-Valentine's Day massacre.
It's not a joke. 17 birds dropped from the sky, dead.
I know, I'm sorry.
You can't gorge indiscriminately.
I know.
Promise me.
I promise. No milk chocolate. Only dark, only organic, only 50% cacao or higher, okay? Okay, don't look at me like that. I promise to stop gorging indiscriminately. I was looking for a rat.
Delicious.
I know, right? I had one yesterday. Oh, and I gorged. But so discriminately. Crunchy, furry, and just a hint of the flavour of whiskey. My wings are drying out. Oh, I love it here. So warm and smelly.
Such a lovely place in the winter.
Even though it's a bit of a dump. Oh, sun. This coast. It's my cause perfectly. Oh, and I love decorating my nest here. So black, so shiny, so much plastic.
I notice you've been hanging it on the trees.
Oh, I love the sound plastic makes when it flaps in the wind.
Humans hate that.
What?
Plastic and trees.
Why?
They think it's not aesthetic.
But they made it.
I know.
Oh, no, don't go. No bullets, only blanks. I told you. The train takes us out. Scare us off. No, don't go.
Right. I wish they didn't want our numbers up or down. Make up your minds. In Brackendale, they were all so proud when we showed up for Eagle Palooza. Almost 4,000 of us. Oh, they were so excited. They made signs, brochures, tourist trips. They had parties named Brackendale, the Eagle capital of the world. Make up your minds. Do you want our numbers up or down? Do you want 0 and up?
Brackendale.
Brackendale, those are the days.
Party, salmon, floor,
Fresh
water,
sky,
snow.
mountains.
Oh, I'd build me a big old nest in those big old growth trees. Brackendale.
The elders telling our eagle tales of the bad times. DDT. Our eggs breaking under us. We were near extinction. They thought it might be the end of us. But we're back. Not extinct. Not even endangered. Oh, I know.
Fake!
Make up your minds. Up or down.
Oh, I feel sorry for those humans. Terrible eyesight.
Terrible gripping power.
But some humans, wait for it,
What?
put us on their money.
Seriously?
Seriously. We owe them our very lives. They got it together. They stopped using DDT because they wanted us to live. Us? Oh, they're not so self-centered.
Yeah, well, I'm just Brackendale.
Brackendale.
Oh. It's another busload of tourists come to see us in a dump. Ugh.
Do you know what I heard the other day?
What?
One of them said,
What?
that we could carry off their young.
We're good, but we're not that good.
Oh, little kid got so scared.
Tried to run away, but it was nowhere.
I know, there's like 3,000 of us this year.
Oh, yeah, they're dumb as posts. Actually, I think a post is smarter. Fits my claws better. Do you think they're jealous?
Sure, we've got 3 times your eyesight, 10 times the good willpower.
Seriously?
Seriously.
They're pathetic. Oh! Oh! Sorry.
Oh, I think you got that girl right in the eye.
Oh, it was an accident. It's a reflex. We all do it when we take off to fly. Oh. I think she's taking it personally. She's crying.
What did you have? Someone pooped on your head?
It was an accident. Don't tell me you don't make mistakes. DDT, milk chocolate, Brackendale. If you're messing up the ecosystem, the salmon would still be spawning there. You could bring your tourist buses somewhere nicer than this city dump. Oh, seriously. Why is it still snowing? It's snow everywhere. More snow than ever.
I love the snow.
What if spring never comes?
Snow makes soft, delicate light across my vision.
You're so dippy. I think everything's going to be okay. What if spring never comes? No seedlings, no salmon.
They know. They'll figure it out, you'll see. The fish will spawn. We'll get back to Brackendale. We'll stop eating milk chocolate and rats.
No, I'll miss the rats.
There was rats in Brackendale. You just didn't notice because the salmon was so good.
Salmon.
They'll save the ecosystem. They'll figure it out. They banned DDT and they saved our lives. They can do it again.
You forgot your straw.
I don't need one.
You ordered a milkshake.
I use a spoon.
Cuts down on brain freeze, I suppose.
I guess you're right. Never thought of that.
Why else would you use a spoon?
Sea turtles.
Strawberry shake and black coffee.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get them.
Thanks.
Here you go, Valerie.
It's Val. And do you prefer Mitch or Mitchum?
Either, I'm not fussy.
Up?
Oh, I'm not saying you are Val.
No, I know.
Oh, I forgot your spoon.
That's okay.
You brought your own.
You want to change your stance on whether I'm fussy?
No, each to his own.
Good?
Yeah, it's great. How's the shake?
Delicious.
So, sea turtles.
Someone sent me a video of a sea turtle getting a straw extracted from its nose.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Poor thing could hardly breathe and was dying a slow death. And that was the one they managed to save. Just made me think of all the ones that didn't make it.
It's a real shame. So have you been on many dates through the app?
Maybe 4? You?
No. dozen or so. How's it been going?
No second dates yet.
Why's that?
I think I might be too honest.
How can you be too honest?
Well, for instance, I tell a guy why I don't use single-use plastics and he changes the subject.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about boring stuff on the first date.
Well, I'm sorry if pollution, habitat destruction and climate change don't interest you.
Yeah, politics really kill the vibe.
Am I supposed to suppress my views?
I wouldn't use the word suppress.
But, yes.
Only until we know each other a bit better.
Doesn't what we're doing to the planet bother you?
Come on, Val, I'm one of the few people you actually agree with to meet in person. The least you can do is wait until you finish your shake.
I do not.
We can talk about global warming and climate change on our second date.
Okay.
So, where are you from?
New Orleans?
Awesome! I went to Mardi Gras myself a few times back in the day.
Yeah, quite the party.
What made you move to Toronto of all places?
You won't like my answer.
Come on.
Katrina?
Ah,
Yeah.
maybe we should call it a night.
Yeah.
It's your third coffee today.
I'm not the one boarding.
You're not allowed to drink coffee if you bought it.
Just thinking you'll probably need the toilet.
Oh. My bladder's not as weak as yours.
Yours not? I don't send weak-blooded girls out there.
Exactly.
I heard this whole story, well, this is ages ago. Just before boarding space flights, astronauts would go for one last piss before they reached the ship. Like on the drive there, they'd all get out of the truck and unbutton. It's kind of a ritual. Then things got harder and harder as more women started boarding space flights because, well,
Different architecture.
is it true?
I don't know. It's so long ago.
What?
It's just astronauts. It's so quaint. God, I haven't used that word in years.
Sorry.
No, it's not.
I
Like,
don't know the ins and outs of space travel.
it's
I'll
okay.
just stay down here on Philistine Earth.
Oh, come on. It's not like that.
Fly me to the moon, let me swing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
It's like our song.
Soon you'll know what spring's like. On Mars, anyway.
I won't go. I'll stay.
What? You're about to board.
I'll stay here with you. I will.
This is once in a lifetime stuff. You're going to Mars. You're going to terraform the planet. You've been handpicked for the 9th colony.
I can't stay.
There was a time, get this, people didn't have to live under domes. You could actually see the sky with your own eyes, not through a visor. So you set up Mars for the future. It's noble. And it's not like the old days when it was a one-way. And who knows? Maybe one day we can come back and maybe even settle here.
Listen, I think I should.
It's 3 years, and when you come back, we'll be set for life.
I really want to just.
Early pension payments, you'll be able to just kick back.
Okay,
If
listen.
anything about having kids or.
I'm not coming back.
us down, told us they changed their thinking. They said geomatic engineers are the most sought after group. And if they're going to spend all that money to send us out there, give us everything we need, pay for all our training, we had to sign a permanent contract. If we couldn't do that, we need to leave it then and there. But they were putting all this pressure on us and rattling on and on about how it was the most significant event in history and what an honour it was and how we would be making history, that we had to put aside our personal feelings, and I didn't know what else to do. It was either that or
I'm out of need to get more.
set up a small group.
What's that for?
It's a support group for spouses of the Mars 19. You can go and talk to other spouses.
Oh, that's nice. That'll be nice.
Daddy, don't.
How long? Thing is, how long have you known about this?
Told us Monday.
So, a week. You had a week to tell me.
I didn't know how to. I'm sorry.
All engineers boarding Flight 584 to Mars, please make your way to boarding gate 3.
Now, you will write, won't you?
Don't be like.
How am I supposed to be?
I love.
Oh.
All engineers boarding Flight 584 to Mars, please make your way to boarding gate 3.
Fly me to the moon, let me swing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and
But if something happens, I will tell you I told you so.
Can I just squeeze in here? I promise I won't hurt you. You see, they're really nice. Cute! Oh, hi, big guy. I think they like me.
Sure, they do.
Ready?
Got it.
Can you take another one just in case?
All right. I took a few.
Okay. Can I see? That's great.
Can we go now before the pile closes? I want to see the blue-winged frog exhibit.
Where did they find them? Does it say?
In a mall in New Zealand.
What's a mall?
It's a big concrete structure where people used to buy stuff.
Or like food?
No, just stuff. You know, things.
Why?
I don't know. For fun.
Oh, that's weird.
Let's go. Did I tell you I'm thinking of getting a frog as a 3D tattoo?
Oh yeah?
On my butt. A bright, colorful 3D tattoo on my butt. Every time I get undressed to look like a frog is leaping out of my underwear.
I feel sorry for them. Imagine being stuck in a park like this with what's left of your fellow sapiens for your entire life.
Alright. I'm gone. If I don't come back, it's because I kissed a frog, it turned into a gender non-conforming charming, and we eloped.
Okay, I'll catch up. It's weird to be looking at your own past. And again, I can only imagine what it's like to stare at your future. You know, whatever happened, I'm sure it was complicated. These things always are. So, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you tried your best. It was a mess. Some of you fucked up, some of you fought hard, and here we are. And isn't it wonderful? You evolved. All of the shit you went through made you evolve into me, a new species. Which, granted, isn't the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it's a step forward. I mean, think about it. 6 extinctions. Not 1, not 2, 6. 6 times the Earth was nearly wiped clean of all life. So we should pay some slack is what I'm saying. No species is perfect. For all we know, the dinosaurs might have been assholes. It's not like they left us stone tablets to find out. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Whatever you did wrong, you also did a lot of things right. And that's the story I want to remember. That's the story I want to tell. It's a story we need to celebrate. Us, here, 6 extinctions later. I'm proud of being your kin, I really am. Hopefully the species that comes after me will be proud of being mine.
Hello everyone. My name is Jordan Hall. Well, actually it doesn't. My name's Alice Morton. But Jordan couldn't be here today for a number of reasons that may or may not include blueberries, the immutable reality of the space-time continuum, gremlins, and the fact that she really just had to stay at home in her pyjamas. So, I got picked to read what she would like to be here saying to you.
And I got picked through the sarcastic counterpoint that, as a cynic, she kind of drags into everything she says.
A Rube Goldberg device is a very complicated machine that accomplishes a very simple task. You've all seen them before. A ball bearing rolls down a ramp, which pulls a lever and opens an umbrella.
They're generally silly and redundant.
But I've always wanted to write a play that has one. On stage. We're at the beginning of the play, somebody builds a Rube Goldberg device. And at the end, they turn it on. And maybe at the beginning of the play, the whole idea seems a little meta, a little strange.
Pretty awkward.
But at the end, when the Rube Goldberg device is working, something would begin to happen. Some unexpected, beautiful revelation. And we'd all leave here with a different understanding of the world,
and ourselves in it.
Saccharine crap like that.
Now, we don't have ball bearings or levers or multicolored umbrellas. So, you are going to have to be the components of our Rube Goldberg device. So at the beginning of the show, somebody gave you a slip of paper.
Oh, no, they didn't.
They didn't. Okay, fine. We'll do it now.
Yeah, this is off to a great start.
I don't know why I like the Rube Goldberg device so much. I think it's probably something to do with how a tiny action can have huge implications. Think about all that complexity being turned towards something so simple. Something about serendipity. Something about joy.
It could easily be about the probability of failure. A system this complicated, one thing goes wrong and the entire thing falls apart.
But
and we haven't even rehearsed.
the important thing is to try. To read that slip of paper and remember that one thing. Not to worry about the big finish, just to start. And we'll see where it leads us. Frequently, though not always, a Rube Goldberg device begins with a tiny action. A ball bearing rolling through a tube, a man taking a sip of coffee, a finger knocking down a domino. So, here and now, let's all take a deep breath and begin.
It'll be alright. It'll be alright.
It's never gonna be alright.
It'll be alright.
I'll have a venti cappuccino double shot.
Come on!
I gotta get through my day, man!
Beep, beep.
Keep a moment to talk about the environment. Remember Hunter's rights, Black Lives Matter, Islamophobia?
Donald Trump.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to do. How to make sense of myself. Ourselves. The unfathomable capacity for destruction. Unfathomable capacity for love. How to confront the world in infinite complications. The highway accident gave us this green and blue world. The arbitrary miracle of life. Also we can
Drill, baby, drill.
CO2 at 400 BPM. Jobs, prosperity,
Drugs, seven.
Science, adaptation.
selfishness,
Cooperation.
power, human extinction.
Master, if you please.
When I think of how improbable it is
That a singularity should have bloomed into a universe.
that a universe should have spiraled into stars and planets,
That a planet should have formed in just the right place with rocks and water and one perfect circling moon, like the biggest symphony of ball bearings you ever saw.
When I think of how improbable it is that rocks and water should catalyze into life.
That life should replicate into multicellular life. Like the littlest symphony of ball bearings you ever saw.
When I think of how strange and serendipitous it is
that life evolves into fish
and moss
and dinosaurs
and bees
and
and
a
species of bipedal primates
with a brain that happens to generate
as a byproduct,
a tiny electrical storm of consciousness,
which means it can build fires and cities and rockets and theaters.
But that species can come to their own extinction
See its own selfishness
and say,
stop!
that we can hold hands, can all be together in this moment, letting nothing but a few words written by a small woman very far away start us dancing. Dancing in the face of it all.
And maybe it won't work. Maybe it's silly and redundant, and maybe we're doomed.
But I'd like to think that the things we put in motion can be bigger and more complicated than us, and yet very, very simple. I'd like to think that at any moment, one tiny action can start the Rube Goldberg device that saves the world.
Climate action, so thank you so much for that. Thanks also to my team, Annie, Charlie and Julia from Generation Zero, and also thanks to Elizabeth and the team here for doing such a wonderful job. I was actually locked outside, so I missed most of it, but watched it from the window and listened, and you'll be surprised what you can pick up from it. So, I missed the dance party, which I'm really gutted about. Anyway, so Generation Zero is a youth climate action organisation, for those who haven't heard of it. What we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years is trying to connect people with politicians, amplify their voices and get the politicians to do more on climate change. So that's what we're about. I'm here to speak about what actions you can take for climate change, and sort of beyond having a vegan diet and making better transport choices. It's actually quite hard to do personal action to reduce your carbon emissions. One thing that we're really lacking is the sort of coordinated support of, political will and businesses and everyone basically working together to tackle climate change. And so that's why Generation Zero advocates on behalf of the community towards politicians to make that change. But there are obviously some things that you can do to help out with that. This is amazing climate action. This is, connecting climate change with people's emotions is one of the very best things that we can do to deeply engage people and get them to start acting more for climate change. So thank you so much for this. So it's clear that we do need more action on climate change. It's coming, we're already feeling it now, and it's only going to get worse. But there is still time to avoid the worst of climate change if we act now. Clearly the politicians need to act a little bit more. as a nation, we promised under the Paris Agreement in 2015 to go zero carbon by about 2050. We promised that to the world. And in fact, our emissions have just been going up and up and up since then, and before then, not going down. So that's awful. Generation Zero basically got so frustrated with this over the last 5 years. We were asking for the politicians to curb those emissions downwards, and nothing was done. So instead, we decided to take it upon our own hands, and we came up with what we call the Zero Carbon Act. The Zero Carbon Act is our proposal for a law that will get us down towards basically a carbon neutral or a neutral emissions country, and will allow us to do what we need to do for the world for climate change. So the Zero Carbon Act has 3 key elements. One is a long-term goal of getting Aotearoa down to zero carbon emissions by 2050. And it does that by staging it in little carbon budgets so that we know where we're going, we know what the roadmap is, we know what we have to do next year, and so on and so forth. So that's the first element. The second one is it forces the government and the whole of Parliament to create plans to do that, and also to create plans to adapt to the climate change that we're going to have. And lastly, it sets up an independent body which oversees that, reports on it, advises how to get there, and also makes what the politicians are doing transparent so that all the rest of us can see and can act where we need to. So that's the Zero Carbon Act. It basically makes it a legal requirement for us to do something about climate change, and we think it's the very first step that we need to take to start doing something meaningful. The good news is that the Zero Carbon Act is coming. The new government basically just announced that they want to see a Zero Carbon Act put on the table as a bill in the next 100 days, which is frightening because there's a lot of work to do. I guess the bad news is that the only way that that's going to work is if all of the political parties support it, because it's only going to work if everyone backs it and everyone is keen on it. So there's still a few MPs who aren't so keen on the Zero Carbon Act, and what we need to do in the next 100 days is get them to be supporting and endorsing the Zero Carbon Act so that when it finally does get passed, it sticks around and it does what it needs to do for the next 30 years. So in that, there's 2 things that you can do to help us out. We think this is the most important thing that you can do on behalf of the climate. The first thing, and it's super easy, is to basically sign a petition of support, give your individual support for this framework. So it's zerocarbon.nz, just on your phone, scroll down to the bottom and fill out your details, sign the petition. We've already got about 12,000, maybe 15,000 people who have endorsed that, but we need lots more. The second thing that you can do if you really want to get involved with this is to adopt an MP. Basically, target an MP who doesn't support the Zero Carbon Act, who hasn't sort of come out about the Zero Carbon Act yet. Meet up with them, talk to them, send them letters, do whatever you need to do to get them to publicly endorse the Zero Carbon Act. So that's what adopting an MP is about, and it's what we need to do in the next 100 days.
Is there a list available of which MPs?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's some key ones that we need to target. But basically, we try and match you with the MP that you have some sort of connection to. So if there's anyone who's really keen to adopt an MP on behalf of the climate, then please get in touch with myself, with the Generation Zero team. Yeah, so that's basically, those are the key things that I think you can do. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other actions you can be involved with. If you want to talk more about those specifically, just let me know. Any questions? Cool. So yeah, 2 things. Sign the petition, zerocarbon.nz, and get in touch with me if you want to adopt an MP. It should be fun.
What's your age group? So can high school students?
Oh, age group, yeah. I said we're a youth climate action organisation. I'm kind of stretching the definition of youth, I guess. But basically anyone who's under 30 is considered youth and is good for the face of it. Basically, we don't really care so much about the youth thing. Anyone who wants to get involved with climate action is welcome. But you know, that's just our front image. High school students, definitely, we really want to see some more involved. Is there another question?
Is this somewhere you can get t-shirts from?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they're like $20 or something. They're online. buy a t-shirt. Again, the proceeds go to us and help us do what we do. So yeah, I'll maybe send out an email or something with the links there so that people can find those.
Facebook group.
Facebook
event, we can put it on.
Yeah, the Facebook event.
But it's generationzero.org, isn't it? Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So, cool. Thanks so much.
We had a creative writing competition as part of this whole Still Waiting, and it's my pleasure now to welcome to the stage Dr. Ingrid Horrocks, who was the judge, who will announce the winner.
It's quite an exciting moment to be having this event, so yeah, a hopeful one, it feels right. Yeah, so we had a lot of entries this year, and really strong entries, and there are two of us who did it. My colleague Jack Ross also helped me out. And we're going to read from the winning three. So the winning entry was by Sharon McKenzie, and it's called Grass Still Grows, and I'm going to read that one. She's based in Christchurch. And it's a short story, and what really stuck out was this idea of kind of making the familiar unfamiliar, and it's an apocalyptic view of Christchurch, and it was quite striking, and it's got a kind of personal narrative deeply embedded in there. Second place was Janet Newman, with her poem Flood, and Janet is here and is going to read, and it's a wonderful poem about nature's resilience in the face of climate change, and it is climate change now. Again, very familiar places that we know changed by climate change. The final piece is by Melanie Ferguson, and Elspeth's got it now. She's going to read it. I can't remember what it's called, but what struck us about that one is it's kind of an ecstatic piece about why one might actually care about climate change. It's made out of recycled voices from writers over a 400-year period, a lot of different countries, and a kind of ecology of connectedness and pleasure in the world. And Elspeth is going to read it at the end because it seemed like a nice kind of nonsense but ecstatic moment to end this day on. Okay, so I'm going to read Grass Still Grows. About 5 minutes, maybe a little more. And actually, should we give these guys a round of applause first? They were really fantastic. Marianne pulled the cover over the printing press and packed the last of the slim volumes in the bags on the floor. The nagging ache in her gut gave a sharp twinge as she bent down. Indigestion, she told herself, but she knew it wasn't. Knowing did no good, anyway. No more chemo, no more wonder drugs. There hadn't been a shipment of any drugs from overseas for years. These days, if you couldn't make it locally, you went without. She slung a bag over each shoulder and shuffled down the hallway, smiling at Mrs. Nirashan, who was tiredly walking back and forth, trying to quiet the baby. Behind the closed door of the second bedroom, she could hear raised voices. At least the authorities were only sending her one refugee family at a time these days, while they waited for their place on the island for inland convoys. There had been times when she'd packed up to 18 people into her 3-bedroom house. Melba greeted Marianne with a loud "There!" from her stall in the garage. The goat shifted impatiently as Marianne attached the carrier bags to her harness. "Dude," she said to the goat as they walked out to the street, "where's my driverless car?" Melba knew the answer to that one. "Meh. Goats go where goats want to go. I don't think that counts as driverless." She could feel warmth in the wind from the east, bringing a swampy stench with it. And barely spring yet, Marianne thought. The mosquitoes would be hatching in the brackish marsh that covered the remains of eastern Christchurch. She could hear high-pitched giggles as 2 little boys played in the water-filled pothole that spanned half the street, conducting a naval battle with tiny ships made from flax stems. Dot's granddaughter was hanging out washing in her front yard as Marianne passed, singing, "Rain still falls and grass still grows. Boise's girl, you know how it goes." Dot was leaning on the gate, watching the kids, and Marianne stopped, yanking at Melba's rope when she tried to sample a roadside patch of cabbages. "Here," Dot said, "I saved some carrot tops." Did you hear about the latest reading? 10.73 metres. I always wanted a seaside property. She had a sense of tire at that joke. Better get that bikini ready, Marianne countered, as she always did, and Dot cackled happily. The truth was there were no more beaches. There was no edge to the ocean anymore. It had gulped down half the city and vomited back a swamp of stinking mud and twisted wreckage. The last 10 years have been a frantic race against the tide to render down buildings and infrastructure to their constituent parts. Everything of possible use, including topsoil and trees, was removed by the locust army to be loaded onto the electric trucks travelling inland to the new cities. Fairley, Rampley, and even sleepy Naseby have been transformed as the coastal refugees fled to the higher ground. Melba plodded around the corner, a carrot top dangling from her lips. Marianne let the goat pull her along, thinking back over the years. When was it? Was there one particular day? That day we finally realised things were never going to get better. There were those pictures on the news, back when they still had television broadcasts. That shaky video shot with a phone from the last plane to leave Kiribati. The clouds pressing against the chain-link fence at the airport. The wave of brown water churned up by the plane's wheels as it moved down the runway. The view of that young woman below, waist deep in the swirling water, holding up her baby over her head, mouth open and a silent "oh" as the plane lifted away. Was it then when the First Nation drowned? Or had they still thought something could be done? Was it the summer the farmers built piles of black and white carcasses, sending columns of stinking smoke rising up from the plains after the ships stopped coming and the dairy industry collapsed? Was it the winter that the flood waters covered South Dunedin, the Hutt Valley and Greymouth and never receded? Or that summer the meteorologists added new colours to their temperature maps and half of Australia went up in flames? Marianne shook her head. Maybe it was different for everyone who lived through the last 25 years. She tied Melba to a post outside the old supermarket, now filled with a combination farmers market and travelling garage sale. A hand-painted sign in the window of the old pharmacy offered books, drugs and news for sale, gossip for free. Marianne stuck her head in the door. "Hey Sam," she said, "got a fresh batch for you." "Marianne, lovely to see you," Sam said, stepping outside to help her carry the bags inside. He laid the slim volumes on the counter, one hand absently scratching the lumpy melanoma on his left ear. "Diphtheria, symptoms and treatment," he read slowly. "What else have we got here? Goat husbandry, compost toilet construction, Ross River virus, radio operation and repair." "Excellent. Riveting reading as always, Marianne." "At least I achieved my life's ambition," she said. "I am a published author, with sales in the hundreds. We should have a book launch party." "Ah yes, with wine and those little canapes on silver trays." Sam laughed. "I really don't know where I'd get the smoked salmon and crackers." He took out a small notepad and added up some figures. "Well, what you brought me today, here's what you have to spend. What can I get for you?" She was looking out the window at the hills. "Something from the back room." "I need 20 milligrams of morphine, Sam." "Oh, my dear," he said. "So soon?" She avoided his eyes. "Not yet, but I'd like to be ready. I don't know how much longer I'll be mobile." He looked at her for a moment longer, then turned and unlocked the door behind the counter. He returned with a small plastic container. "Send word when it's time," he said, coming with her to the door. "I'll come around." "I will," she promised. "I put some books aside for you." Outside, Melba had finished the carrot tops and was chewing on her lead rope, a thoughtful expression on her face. "Come on, you silly goat," Marianne said. "Let's go to the park and you can have grass for lunch." "Meh," Melba said agreeably. Marianne looked up at the green hills as they walked. Rain still falls and grass still grows, she thought. Maybe I've not had that one particular day yet.
So we'll welcome now Janet Newman, who is going to read the flood. That's right.
Hello, so I was thinking about nature's resilience when I wrote this, but also about how these climatic events are so levelling, and people realise then that we're not just apart from nature, but a part of nature. Flood. When the floodwaters rose up, covering the plain with mirrors and veils, our backyards looked like other people's, and the roads we drove failed under rivers that seemed to have been here longer than we had. Belongings stacked on pool tables sagged. 16 sandbags might as well have been a cache of illegal togiroas for all the good they could muster against the weight of water spilling over stock banks. When the floodwaters rose up, we sank down into our steamed-up cars if we could find them, or our fire-warmed lounges if we could reach them, watching the rain gauge, the tide times, the insurance claim, the surge line. We wrote everything down in record books, but the numbers didn't look like much because we stopped feeling like we were the ones who counted. When the floodwaters rose up, we sank back down to the bush with the weka and the power planter snails and the katapo clinging to waterlogged webs and pukitua paddling, holding up their heads.
I'm going to read the third place winner. It's called Recycling Worlds by Melanie Ferguson, and it's a piece of writing that does what Melanie sees as the answer, which is it takes scraps and fragments from here and there and it puts them together and refashions them into something new and beautiful that doesn't discard them as reuses. I stood in my garden pulling locats off the tree and eating them to be full of spring. A tree that may have spent further time as a house or classroom or a bridge or pier, or further time would be spent floating on the sea or river, or sucked into a swamp, or stopping a bank, or sprawled on a beach, bleaching among sand, stones and sun. The train went on up the track out of sight, around one of the hills of burnt timber, and further west on the upper reaches the place of the monstrous town was still marked ominously on the sky, a brooding gloom in sunshine, a lurid glare under the stars. I said his heaven would be only half alive, and he said mine would be drunk. I said I should fall asleep in his, and he said he could not breathe in mine. A ray peers into the room of your eye. Why is our art so introverted? It doesn't mean a thing to the seagull or sun. The clouds don't understand a word. Their language is silence. His mouth opens. From inside him comes a slow stream, without breath, without interruption. It flows up through his body and out upon me, washing the cliffs and shores of the island. It runs northward and southward to the ends of the earth. Soft and cold, dark and unending, it beats against my eyelids, against the skin on my face. And if several people talk at once, an overlapping howling noise begins. Echoes generate echoes, our apparitions, the part of us which appears, are so momentary compared with the other, the unseen part of us, which spreads wide. The unseen might survive, be recovered somehow, attached to this person or that, or even haunting certain places after death. Perhaps. Perhaps the tree, after a lifetime of fruiting, has, after its first death, a further fruiting at the hands of a master. This does not mean that the man is the master of the tree. He is master only of the skills that bring forward what was already waiting in the womb of the tree. The new things born there console or constellate, they measure space, they keep time. But who wrote this story? And before writing, who told it to us that we tell it over and over? With what ineffable pleasure have I not gazed, and gazed again, losing my breath through my eyes, my very soul diffused itself in the sea. You are of me, and I of you. I cannot tell where you leave off and I begin. Note to end on in terms of thinking about how we're all part of the Rube Goldberg device that is the world, that is our ecosystem, that is our planet, and that one little act will start it moving. So Kevin is going to bring out the beautiful ringer that we've donated for us from Frank, our photographer. And if each of you would like to come and take a ringer, they will survive for another day and a half or so. So there's no absolute rush when you get it home to put it into a pot, but that's your little piece of still waving to take away and start your own little mechanism of saving the planet one tree at a time. So thank you very much for listening to me.